First, the top headlines. State to host Durand Cup. Chief Minister N. Biren unveils 131st Durand Cup 2022 trophy today. Says the tournament will not telecast local TV channel. ED quizzes Sonia Gandhi for third time today in National Herald money laundering case. No new summons issued. And India records 18,330 new COVID-19 cases, 57 COVID deaths in 24 hours. Recovery rate recorded at 38.47%. Hello, good evening and welcome to ELITETV. I'm Pari Yendrembam giving you 6 p.m. ELITETV English news and updates. Now, before giving you the news, we request you to follow the SOP given by the government. Wear face masks when out in public, wash hands regularly and maintain a minimum of 6 feet between one person and another. ELITETV requests you to get vaccinated in time to protect ourselves from this virus and play your part in the fight against COVID-19. Now, the news in detail. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, an ex-professional footballer himself, unveiled the 3 prestigious Durand Cup trophies in the capital, Imphal City Convention Centre. As a 5-day trophy tour reached the powerhouse footballing state, Manipur is all set to become first-time host of the century-old tournament. Asia's oldies, along with Assam, as Imphal's Kumal Lampak Stadium gets set to host 10 group games of the 131st Durand Cup from August 18 September to 5th September 2022. Also present on the historic occasion were Lieutenant General K.K. Repswal, SM, BSM Chief of the Staff, Eastern Command and Chairman Durand Organizing Committee. The iconic Durand Cup trophies were flagged off from Kolkata on July 19th and reached Guwahati in Assam on July 21st. After their tour of Manipur, they proceed to Jaipur, Delhi and Goa before returning to Kolkata, where the grand finale is scheduled for September 18, 2022 at the hallowed Vivekananda Yuba Bharati Krirangan, BYVK, also popularly referred to as the Salt Lake Stadium in local parlance. The storied tournament organized by the Indian Army is being supported by the government of Manipur. Speaking on the occasion, Chief Minister N. Biren appealed to the people of the state to come out and enjoy the matches and encourage the players and organizers of the cup who have brought the cup to the state to provide exposure to the state's sporting talents. For the first time, Manipur will host 10 group matches of the Durand Cup, the oldest football tournament in Asia, from August 18 to September 5th, 2022. The 131st edition of the Cup will be played in the 3 states, Manipur, Assam and West Bengal. In what is also a historic moment for the state, all 3 Durand trophies, the President's Cup, the Durand Cup and the Simla Trophy, have reached Imphal and were unveiled by the Chief Minister during the ceremony. Speaking at the unveiling ceremony, the Chief Minister said, "It is indeed a matter of great pride and privilege to be present at the monumental event of unveiling ceremony of the trophies for the 131st edition of the Durand Cup 2022. He thanked the Indian Army and the organizers of the Cup for bringing the iconic tournament to the football-passionate state of Manipur. Chief Minister N. Biren wishes the 131st edition of the Durand Cup 2022 all the very best and assure all support in making the tournament bigger and better than the previous years and further wish the participating teams. He said Manipur is one of the states producing the highest number of Indian Super League players, stating that he had himself played in the tournament as a left defender for BSF in the 1981 edition, in which his team won the trophy at Ambedkar Stadium, New Delhi. The Chief Minister said that Durand Cup matches happening in Imphal is like personally walking down the memory lane. The Chief Minister wished all success to the tournament and also appreciated YA's Minister Govindas Konthojam and his team for their efforts. The unveiling ceremony was also attended by Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Govindas Konthaujam, Chief Secretary Dr. Rajesh Kumar, Major General Navin Sachdeva, Major General Sarawat IGR South, Lieutenant General Retired K. Himalaya Singh, distinguished guests from military and state administration, Padma Shri and Arjuna awardee footballer O. Bembem, Padma Shri awardee Ruben Masangba, former Indian national player P. Renedy Singh, among others. The 131st edition of the Durand Cup will be played at the 5 venues of Kumalampak Stadium, Imphal, Indira Gandhi Athletic Stadium, Guwahati, Nehati Stadium, Nehati, Kishore Bharati Krirangan, and Vivekananda Yuba Bharati Krirangan, Kolkata. Altogether, 20 teams, including defending champions FC Goa and runners-up from last year, Mohammedan Sporting, 11 teams from the Indian Super League, 4 services team, Neroka FC, Trau FC, Sudeba FC of Delhi, and Rajasthan United FC will play in this edition of the Durand Cup.
Very fortunate, and I'm very grateful to the Army authority that from this year, Agniveer recruitment will be done here in the Lemukong Hills. We no need to go to Rangapaha or Assam or other place. Now the General Karta has already informed me and the notification has already issued that the recruitment of the Agniveer will be held here in Lemukong Hills. Really, to further strengthen our bond, as I said, with the armed forces, I'm happy to announce that Cabinet reviewed the remuneration awarded for gallantry award winners of the armed forces also. Earlier, only Pari amounts were awarded, which we have enhanced significantly this time, and it has increased to 25 lakhs.
State AIDS Control Society, Social Welfare Department and prison authorities jointly organized state-level orientation cum sensitization of officials from the prison and other closed settings, Government of Manipur at Hotel Imphal today. Speaking in the function, AIDS Control Society Northeast State Manager Sadananda Moirangthem said that Manipur State AIDS Control Society have been organizing various programs related with HIV and testing at different areas. He said the program is being organized with an aim to take up appropriate steps in accordance to the first steps taken up under Global Fund after considering the rising spread of HIV not only from drug users but as well as from the sexual route. Sadananda Moirangthem further said that the percentage of HIV is very high when going through the condition of shelter home and jail section for women, and there is also high concern on the issue of hepatitis C.
Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh, Hairiba program, similar program se ekoi huzik dumpunna chapmana ba page samada ekoi changchalli makha tarakpada ekoi tongan ba healthcare providers singi yam specific oiba thematic areas ta the police officials singi psychotraumatic issues psycho issues like kanda kamaina deal tawgana ge clinically ekoi kamai deal tawgada ge habagi tongan ba training package me ama ekoi pipeline the lay, but still this is just the opening to the opening, and it's the gate of the Global Fund program.
In solidarity to the pinned down, armed down protest by the BDF personnel in the state against state government failure to fulfill their long-awaited demands and not tabling their demands in the state cabinet, BDF personnel in Yendrembam district also joined the protest from yesterday evening. Due to the protest, 284 media personnel in Yendrembam has stopped doing their duties. Speaking to media persons in connection with their protest, Yendrembam District BDF Welfare Association Secretary L. Santajit Singh said that all Manipur BDF Welfare Association announced for armed down and pen down statewide protest after the Manipur government fails to table and fulfill the long-awaited demands of BDF personnel during the state cabinet meeting held on July 21. In solidarity to the protest, BDF personnel in Yendrembam district also joined in the protest of armed down, pen down from yesterday evening around 6 p.m., he added.
Uganda bagi Manipur cabinet law bagi decision amana bagi BJP maroi ba bagi salary hingga tu hai ba demand do government na hana biraktu maramna BJP na ngasi amdan pendan lo pu gi khongjinga ma chinsin ba hokre masigi iroi na Yendrembam district su all Manipur BJP welfare na 16 district makta amdan pendan tonu bi lo ko wareta akoi sungarang numidang pung taruk tagi Yendrembam district su Yendrembam district le BJP dima amdan pendan tangkon saja gara itu
While there seems to be a visible delay in the final settlement of solution to the Naga issue, the NHNIM stated the delay was due to the Rashtriya Swamsevak Sangha (RSS) and its manifesto of Hindutva opposing the twin demands of a separate Naga flag and the constitution. The NHNIM states that these two demands were resolved in the Framework Agreement (FA) signed with the Centre in 2015 in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In a statement, the NHNIM said, "The irony is that this matter, flag and constitution, was already resolved long back, but the Rashtriya Swamsevak Sangha (RSS) factor came in between, questioning how there can be two flags and two constitutions." The manifesto of the RSS sharply contradicted the principal agreement of the Framework Agreement. The actual point of delay started from here, the statement read. They added, "Some people have misconstrued it. The peace talks are getting delayed because of the flag and constitution issues. Whereas it is not the case because the flag and the constitution are the component ingredients embraced in the Framework Agreement (FA), and the statement added. Congress Chief Sonia Gandhi was questioned for the third time, this time for 3 hours, in a connection to the National Herald money laundering case. She was, however, issued no fresh summons amid indication that her questioning has concluded. With yesterday's questioning, Gandhi has been questioned for more than 11 hours over 3 days and faced around 100 questions, officials said. Her first round of questioning took place on July 21st. Gandhi reached the Federal Agency's office in central Delhi at 11 a.m. accompanied by her daughter Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and son Rahul Gandhi. The session began around 11:15 a.m. The team of investigators, including the main probe officer and the person who took down statements dictated by the Congress chief. Sonia Gandhi left the ED office around 2 p.m. along with Vadra, who stayed with her at the Prabhartan Bhavan, ED headquarters, in order to provide any assistance or medical care to her mother. The questioning pertains that the source of the alleged financial irregularities in the Congress-promoted Youth Indian Private Limited, which owns the National Herald newspaper. The Congress chief is understood to have stuck to the party's position that no personal assets were made in Associate Journals Limited (AJL), Young Indian Deal, and that the routine affairs were handled by the other office bearers, including late Motilal Vora. Congress leaders Pawan Bansal and Mallikarjun Kharge have been questioned by the ED in the past. The session took place with COVID-appropriate protocols in place and are being recorded in an audio-video mode, the official said. The Congress has slammed the agency's action against its top leadership and termed as political vendetta and harassment. The Delhi police, like the last 2 times, deployed a huge force, including CRPF and RAF personnel, and barricaded the over 1 kilometer stretch between Gandhi's residence on Janpat and the ED office. Traffic restrictions were also imposed in the area. Rahul Gandhi was also questioned by the ED in this case last month, in session that clocked over 50 hours over the 5 days. The move to question the Gandhis was initiated after the ED late last year registered a fresh case under the criminal provisions of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Now let's have a short commercial break before giving you further news.
Admissions open, Apex Public School, Santnagar, Delhi. Contact 999-006-1747 or 782-762-1392. CBSE affiliated, Admissions open for 2022-23 for classes 5 to 9 and class 11. AC hostel available for classes 5 to 9 and 11 at affordable price. Hostel facility for girls and boys. Secure environment. All streams offered: science, commerce and humanities. Highly qualified teaching staff, wide variety of sports activities, audio-visual smart classes, world-class infrastructure. For local information, dial 989-969-9355 or visit us on www.apexpublicschool.in or email us at apexschool25@gmail.com.
Kindergarten Montessori School affiliated to CBSE New Delhi. Admission open for the academic session 2022-23 for class 11 Science and Arts. Admission fee ₹5,000 only for self-school students and ₹8,000 only for other school students. Kindergarten Montessori School has been continuously producing best result in class 10. Facilities are separate school buildings for secondary and senior secondary, scenic landscape school campus, eco-friendly school campus, CCTV camera of all class, separate science laboratory and library room, 24 hours Wi-Fi internet on school campus, ATL robotics lab, van service available. For more details, please contact Principal, Kindergarten Montessori School, Sagolban Takel Kolom Laikai, Imphal West.
HIV IBC lambi mari khaktada miyo yamadagi amada sindui.
HIV positive oiba mama mapadagi machada.
Sakhangdaba miyo singa kondom yaudana yuman mari thamba matamda HIV sandui.
Mi amaga yatum sirin waiduna sizinabada HIV sandui.
Ana layengda ikap matamda HIV test tobada ikap labadi HIV sandui.
Jang naina amadi niyom chumna kondom sizinabana HIV dagi ngakthokpam.
Sexual transmitted infection STI.
Haibadi pinungi laina dagi sungar thokpangami.
Aduga angang pamdrabadi kondom sizinabiyo.
HIV haiba virus asina mipum khudimakta sokhali.
Masigi namkhai leite chahi laining kanglup natraga nupa nupi angang khaini.
Masina mi amadagi amada mathang sindokungam.
Aina domu sinari HIV test tongna. Aina domu sinari kondom sizinabagida.
Aina domu sinari masabo HIV dai kanjanaba. HIV AIDS ki maramda hena kupa moron khangnabagi damak.
AIDS toll free number 1097 da phone tobi.
English Hindi natraga Manipuri de wari saba yagani.
Nako AIDS app su download tobiu amadi sizinabio.
Sareng macha marang kaina fangbiragani. Size ki matung ina mamal tongan na laygani. Inchi ani makai dagi inchi mari fawba laygani. Mamal na lupa yangkai dagi lupa chama fawba laygani. Lagli batang pun mapan thatarit inglisagani kunni thoy dagi. Laubi ba yaragani. Mangjona na order tawbi horo. Hana order tawba mihoida hana pisagani. Aduka sareng ki machunjak su marang kaina fangani. Loina na sareng ki upagi technique su takani. Fangfam mamadi contact tawfam Soibam Sur Chandra Singh, International and National Awardee in PC Culture, Managing Director and Proprietor of East Tomba and Sons, Pingwa Farm, Yang Thang Mamang Laikai. Contact number 7085787932, Natraga 9366175942, Natraga 9366061490.
The pinnacles of success. Get enrolled to one of the finest schools in Northeast India, UNACO School, Excellence in Education.
Admissions open for class 11. Student Care Girls Hostel, Come Tutorial Center, Ghari Makhalekai, Imphal West 795140. Subjects offered are English, Physics, Biology, Manipuri, Chemistry and Mathematics. Special features: 24-hour CCTV camera monitor campus, special tuition facilities by well-experienced teachers from reputed higher secondary schools, free van services, free career counseling, free study materials for all subjects, and unit-wise test series. Contact us on 700-568-1226 or 708-593-5854.
Now welcome back once again, giving you further news. The Supreme Court today upheld Enforcement Directorate powers of inquiry, arrest and attachment of property under the provisions of Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Hearing petitions challenging the constitutionality of several provisions of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, the Apex Court said that it is not mandatory for ED officers to disclose the ground of arrest at the time of detaining an accused in money laundering case. A bench comprising Justices A.M. Khanwilkar, Dinesh Maheshwari and Siti Ravi Kumar, while pronouncing the verdict, also upheld twin conditions for bail under PMLA. The Apex Court said under the stringent PMLA law, the power of arrest, granting bail and seizure of property are all outside the ambit of the Code of Criminal Procedure, CRPC. The court also held that the ED officials are not police officials and hence the statements recorded by them under Section 50 of the Act are not hit by Article 20, Part 3 of the Constitution, which guarantees the fundamental right against self-incrimination. The court further held that Enforcement Case Information Report (ECIR) cannot be equated with an FIR and that it is only an internet document of the ED. Therefore, the CRPC provisions relating to FIR will not apply to ECIR. The court also directed the Center to fill out the vacancies in the PMLA Appellate Tribunal. Results of the Higher Secondary Improvement Examination 2022 conducted by the Council of Higher Secondary Education Manipur (COSEM) was announced today at COSEM office Babu Para. Out of 1,897 students, 1,843 students who appeared in the examination passed, leading to rise to the pass percentage to 97.15%. In our subject, 456 students out of 462 passed the exam. In science, 1,336 students out of 1,384 passed the exam, and in commerce, 51 students out of 51 passed in the examination. The result announcement function was attended by COSEM Chairman Dr. Enhancement Sarat Singh, Secretary C.S. Biren Singh, Controller of Examination A. Sukumar, and the Examination Committee members. It may be mentioned that the improvement examination was conducted on July 22 at 6 different centers of the state. Mizoram government yesterday released a compensation to pig farmers whose pigs were culled in 2021 to prevent the spread of African swine fever. Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Minister Dr. K. Behesua today released a compensation at a function released in Bheti Polyclinic Hospital Conference Hall, Aizawl. As per report from 2,488 families, pigs were killed during the spread of ASF throughout the state last year, and a total amount of rupees 10,48,42,200 has been sanctioned. The families will receive compensation through their bank account through direct benefit transfer. The compensation for each pig killed are below 15 kgs, rupees 2,200, between 15 to 40 kgs, rupees 5,800, and between 40 to 70 kgs, rupees 8,400, between 70 to 100 kgs, rupees 12,000, and over 100 kgs, rupees 15,000. Stocks of the pig's feet must also be destroyed with compensation of rupees 22 per kg. African swine fever ASF were detected and confirmed on March 21, 2021 at Lungsen village. A total of 10,910 pigs are killed in last year, with the total value calculating to rupees 9,75,10,400. Both the houses of parliament face frequent disruption following opposition protests over price rise and other issues. The members of the DMK and TMC walked out of the Lok Sabha protesting against the government when the House reassembled at 2 p.m. today. As the House met for a post-lunch session, the opposition members requested the chair to revoke the suspension of Congress members for discussion on the price rise issue. DMK leader A. Raja requested the chair to revoke the suspension of 4 Congress members as the government is ready to discuss the issue of price rise in the House. The Minister for Parliamentary Affairs Prahalad Joshi said the government is ready to discuss all issues including price rise from the very first day, but opposition members soiled the precious time of the House by sloganeering and demonstrating placards in the well. As the chair continued the matters of urgent public importance in the House, the members of the DMK and TMC staged a walk out from the House. Meanwhile, Rajya Sabha today also continued to witness protests over various issues including price rise and Gujarat Hoods tragedy. When the House met after the third adjournment at 2 p.m., suspended Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay Singh refused to leave the House and came into the well raising slogans. Other AAP members were also in the well. The presiding officers urged them to allow the House to function, but in vain. Later, he adjourned the House for the day. Earlier too, the House witnessed repeated adjournments. Aam Aadmi Party member Sanjay Singh was suspended for his unruly behavior. After that, he was urged to leave the House, but he refused. This forced adjournments of the House twice before it was adjourned for the day. In the morning, when the upper house assembled for the day, opposition protested over various issues including price rise and Gujarat Hoods tragedy. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu rejected adjournment notices moved by the members from Congress, TMC, Left, Aam Aadmi Party and Samajwadi Party. Following this, the opposition members created noisy scenes. With 18,313 fresh cases reported in a day, India's COVID-19 tally has climbed to 4,39,38,764, while the count of active cases of the infection has declined to 1,45,026, the Union Health Ministry said today. The death count due to the viral disease has gone up to 5,26,110, with 57 more fatalities, according to the ministry's data updated short. The active cases account for 0.34% of the total case load, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate was recorded at 98.47%, the ministry said. A decline of 2,486 cases was recorded in the active COVID case load in a span of 24 hours, it added. The daily positivity rate was recorded at 4.31% and the weekly positivity rate at 4.57%, according to the data. A total of 87.36 crore tests have so far been conducted to detect the viral infection in the country, including 4,25,337 in the last 24 hours. The number of people who have recuperated from the disease has gone up to 4,32,67,571, while the case fatality rate was recorded at 1.2%, the data showed. According to the ministry, 202.79 crore vaccine doses have so far been administered under the nationwide COVID-19 vaccination drive. The country crossed the grim milestone of 2 crore COVID cases on May 4, 2021, the 3 crore mark on June 23, 2021, and 4 crore cases on January 25 this year. Of the 57 fatalities recorded in a 24-hour period, 19 were from Kerala, 12 from Maharashtra, 7 from West Bengal, 4 from Meghalaya, 2 is from Bihar, Delhi and Odisha, and 1 is reported from Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Nagaland, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Himachal Pradesh, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh and Chandigarh. A total of 5,26,167 deaths due to COVID have so far been reported in the country. The Health Ministry stressed that more than 70% of the deaths occurred due to comorbidities. For ELITETV News Channel, contact to the email address info@elitv.in or 9402890982 and subscribe to ELITETV YouTube channel or follow on Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter for more information about the channel. Now let's look at the headlines once again. State to host Durand Cup. Chief Minister N. Biren unveils 131st Durand Cup 2022 trophy today. Says the tournament will not telecast in local TV channel. ED quizzes Sonia Gandhi for third time today in National Herald money laundering case. No new summons issued. And India records 18,330 new COVID-19 cases, 57 COVID deaths in 24 hours. Recovery rate recorded at 98.47%. Well, that's all for 6 p.m. ELITETV English News and Updates. Thank you for watching.